Androiders, did you see some familiar things in that iOS 5 announcement?
I did.
Because we did, and we want to talk about them.
This episode of App Judgment is brought to you
by Netflix.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to App Judgment, Revision 3's show all about mobile app news and reviews. I'm Anthony Carboni.
I'm Chris Jennings.
Boy, gigantic news this week.
A lot of news.
A lot of news. Worldwide Developers Conference, iOS 5. You know, I'm a big Android user. You're an Android user.
For sure.
I gotta say, a lot of this news was not so new to me.
No, we heard a lot of things that sounded very familiar to Android users,
Yes,
right?
exactly. There's a lot of stuff in iOS 5 that is very, very flattering to Android, right? It's an homage.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Exactly.
For Android fans.
Starting off with the notifications and lock screen changes. Right?
Yeah, the notification is almost an exact replica of what we have already on Android. It pulls down from the top. It shows you all of your notifications from different apps within the phone, all in one place. So different than what we used to have on iPhone, with everything popping up and letting you know what's going on.
I would have to say the weakest part of iOS thus far is push notifications.
Yeah.
They are disarming and interruptive.
Right, distract you from what you're doing, and it's hard to get back into it.
So I'm really not surprised that they pulled from Android on this one. The other thing, of course, the lock screen, you can launch apps that have notifications from the lock screen.
Right, you can take pictures right from your lock screen, going to the camera app.
Which that's not an Android thing, but
no, that's not an Android thing. That's almost more of a Windows Phone thing, getting straight to the camera whenever you need it. So they're taking a little bit from numerous sources.
Absolutely. The second thing is Twitter integration, which, you know, that's great. We all love Twitter. We all use Twitter. But, you know, on Android, any app can integrate into the operating system.
We've had that. A lot of the third-party apps are automatically integrated into the operating system.
Yeah. I do like the way they've implemented the Twitter integration. It looks very slick. Adding a photo to a tweet looks pretty amazing.
It looks pretty easy to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say that there are some third-party apps on Android that very clumsily integrate themselves into the operating system.
They do it, but it's not elegant.
Yeah.
Android's never been one to be super elegant.
I would have to say that both ways are not perfect for me. I would love to see iOS open up a bit more and do more with integration. And on the other hand, I would like to be able to control integration within Android a little bit more, because I feel like there are so many apps and so many processes trying to integrate and run in the background sometimes that it's actually slowing me down.
That's true. It can be overwhelming. There's too much integration sometimes.
Exactly. Third thing is wireless sync. That's cute. That's cute, Apple.
Yeah, Google has been pretty wireless from the start.
That was the whole thing. I remember when I first got my G1,
what
was it, 3 years ago, I got a G1. I put in my Gmail address and I was up and running, just like that. So
no wires. You shouldn't have to plug it into the PC. It's its own standalone PC on its own.
Exactly. And you know, once again, just to balance it out on both sides, to do this on Android, you have to be in love with Google services. To do this on the iPhone, once again, as always, you are tied into Apple. There's no wireless syncing from one to the other.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not that open. But definitely a good step in the right direction, but also something that we've seen before in Android. There is a lot of stuff that we did like.
Yeah, we're not just going to badmouth everything here.
So when we come back, we are going to tell you about some of the best stuff in iOS 5. But first, a word from our sponsor.
So Carter.
Yes.
Do you have any college gossip?
I do. So there's this one time I was in class, and I had a professor, and I thought she was pretty cool. And it turns out she was pretty cool, and it got me thinking about a movie about a younger guy and an older woman. And the most classic story of that, probably of all time, is one of the top 100 movies of all time called The Graduate, starting
with the very young Dustin Hoffman, his first major film.
Yeah, and it's a phenomenal film. I've seen it multiple times, and I think that any generation would be riveted by watching this movie. It's a great story, well told, timeless piece. And what's cool is on Netflix, it's available instantly streaming to any slew of devices right now.
Right, including your Microsoft Xbox 360, Sony's PlayStation 3, and the Nintendo Wii.
So The Graduate, in addition to thousands of other movies, you can watch immediately streaming through those devices. And you can sign up for a free trial thanks to Netflix's sponsorship of AppJudgment. And in order to get that free trial, all you got to do is go over to netflix.com/AJ. Sign up now. You can immediately start watching The Graduate along with thousands of other movies.
And Wayne's World, which you should watch following The Graduate, because Wayne's World references, just do it. Just sign up.
So we're back. We were kind of bashing on iOS 5 a little bit there before the break, but you know there was a lot of stuff there that was pretty new and pretty exciting to us. There were some features that we were really excited about. You were really big on the mirrored AirPlay.
I thought the mirrored AirPlay was the biggest announcement that I personally could see myself using. Just seeing someone there with their iPad and then having that mirrored on their big screen TV right there.
There is something awkward right now about using an HDMI cable to hook up to my, I've had this 20-foot HDMI cable going to my iPad, and it just feels weird. So the mirrored AirPlay is great. The audio stuff with AirPlay has always been good, but so that's something I would love to see on Android, is some sort of like video mirroring or some sort of media mirroring like that. Something that I was really excited about was those geolocation-based reminders. So sick.
They could be really helpful.
That's because you look at a to-do list and there's so much there, and you're just like, none of this is relevant to me right now, and I'm busy and I'm trying to get done with my day, and I just want to know what I can do right now.
There are certain places that once you get there, you're able to get it done, and you're just reminded, you know, and it's good to have that.
I think there, I want to say that there was an app that I saw that did that before, but because it's not integrated into all of the Google stuff, it wasn't super helpful.
The average user is not going to search out this third-party app, but if it's built right into the OS, they're going to use it.
So that's something I'd love to see. And then finally, I was really big on this. I know you weren't so big on it. iMessage. Have you ever had a friend that was like a die-hard BlackBerry user?
Yes, I
BlackBerry Messenger is like the jam, and iMessage is like BlackBerry Messenger on steroids, and you can almost hear the carriers calling out in pain. You could hear AT&T and Verizon going like, lower the data caps, remove the texting.
Yes, I mean, you're right. It takes a lot from BlackBerry Messenger, and not to sound like a broken record here, but we've mentioned them taking things from Android, from BlackBerry, from Windows Phone. And
you know, it's an evolving process. They're obviously taking the best of their competitors, and they've done a lot of great stuff with it. You know, so that's what we like and what we dislike about iOS 5. Those are some Android user perspectives.
Yes.
Are you guys Android users? Are you iOS users? What'd you think of the announcement? Let us know on Twitter at AppJudgment or on Facebook, facebook.com/AppJudgment. And we are back twice a week with all kinds of mobile app news and reviews.
Yes, Android and otherwise, so check us out.
YouTube.com/AppJudgment, revision3.com/AppJudgment.